eyes of Democrats, they just get to do whatever they want. They can pursue the most outlandish things because Orange Man bad, of course. But they may have outdone themselves this time. Today's circus of press conferences from the Get Trump movement included, among others, Democratic Congressman Jerry Nadler from New York City Mayor Eric Adams. Meanwhile, at the Jim Jordan-led hearing on New York crime, everyone's favorite Democratic Congressman, Hank Johnson, waxed poetic zingers about Republicans while reading verbatim from his iPad, no doubt.
Like jackbooted thugs, they've descended on New York City using violent crime as their pretext. The MAGA Republican extremists are not interested in gun violence or even knife violence. The Republican witnesses who have used their time to criticize District Attorney Bragg have served as props in a MAGA Broadway production.
He actually wrote that down. I'd be remiss, obviously, if I didn't remind you that this was the same man that back in 2010 once offered this brilliant insight about the island of Guam during a congressional hearing.
My fear is that the whole island will become so overly populated that it will tip over and capsize.
We don't anticipate that.
Keeps getting reelected. But of course, the real jackbooted thugs are you and I for wanting any version of accountability. It's ironic that people like you and I were slandered as like thugs, as he just said, when these people can't even police their own cities, their own backyard, emboldening criminals by downgrading sentences with downright refusal to protect law-abiding citizens like us. But Republicans who want answers were merely engaging in political stunts, apparently.
What do you think of this field hearing in your city about, crime?
I think it's the highest level of hypocrisy. I think coming here and highlighting DA Bragg is just really a political stunt.
Right. There is no order in New York City. It's like worse than Gotham. I would challenge Mayor Eric Adams or even Alvin Bragg to answer why a bodega owner defending himself against armed assailants in his own store was arrested. Here's what his attorney explaining the client's confrontation with a female customer and her boyfriend from last summer.
I was face to face with her boyfriend, who seemed ready to kill me. I stabbed that man in self-defense. But when the police came, even though I was injured myself, I was placed under arrest. I was taken to jail. I still don't know why I was charged with murder. I believe that law enforcement and the DA's office didn't investigate the case fully. I am now traumatized from the incident. I am not working because I am terrified for my life that someone in a gang will come after me for revenge.
One of the many who testified today. Well, Mayor Eric Adams, you care to weigh in on that? Of course not. Of course not. He's too busy hiring rat czars and driving businesses and residents out of the city. And why? Why are you willing to arrest a law-abiding business owner in your city for defending himself and his business, but we're the jackbooted thugs?
It is really troubling that Americans' taxpayers' dollars are being used to come here on this junket to do an examination of the safest big city in America instead of focusing on the real over-proliferation of guns.
Under what metric? Safest city? I mean, riddle me this, Batman. Why did your own city release these statistics then? Now, as a public service to all these head-in-the-sand Democrats who still struggle to grasp the very concepts of the crime that they have fostered, today Congressman Jim Jordan said it very bluntly.
Bad guys aren't necessarily stupid, they're just bad. They're going to figure out a way to do bad things. And the key is to put bad guys behind bars so they can't harm others. And when you send that message, things get better.
You know what? I am really glad that Republicans have finally started to play by the same rules as Democrats, by finding something that is wrong, harping on it until the outrage is deafening. Then they have to do something. New York, which has become a microcosm of the international Trump-hating syndicate, because after all, Trump must have done something wrong. We just have to figure out what it is. So to do that, they'll go after anyone associated with him, even their families.